WWE Royal Rumble.
Willingness to play dirt.
Doudrop throws Becky Lynch off of her one time at the start of the match from a simple headlock, and that's somehow enough to piss Becky off and stomp in frustration. Boy, I'd hate to see a reaction from Doudrop escaping the disarmer.
This is the strategy of a champion.
Carelessly getting yourself counted out instead of actually trying to defeat your opponent, especially after you've been known to get the job done in the main event of WrestleMania without those tactics? Totally the champion strategy here.
Throws Doudrop off of her own game.
What were you saying?
For once, Byron Saxton would be great at Cinemasons 2 expansion with that remark to Corey Graves.
Doudrop has been able to make.
Oh! Alright, that was a great move by Doudrop. Becky figures Doudrop would jump over after running off the ropes like wrestlers normally do, which allowed Doudrop to take advantage of Becky's underestimation of her abilities. Doudrop's name sucks, but without a doubt, she is a great talent. Becky Lynch be like, okay, maybe if I hide here behind the stairs, Doudrop won't be able to find me. Now we're playing hide and seek at the Royal Rumble.
You can't hide anymore.
Doudrop deserves another center move, honestly, because she has perfect ring awareness in situations like this. She protected her head from hitting the floor while taking an upside-down bump onto the stairs at the same time. Sometimes I wish fans gave her more credit, but they're too busy hating on the name. I hate it too, but at least I pay attention. Boy, that's gotta be awkward to wrestle in front of 44,000 plus people, and pretty much all of them are looking at the WrestleMania sign being fixed after Ronda Rousey accidentally set it on fire.
Can you imagine if Becky Lynch were able to defeat Doudrop?
Honestly, yeah, I can. I get that Doudrop is much bigger than Becky Lynch, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's automatically the favorite to win here.
I set that sign on fire!
Becky Lynch taking credit for the WrestleMania sign being set on fire even though it was already on fire before she made her entrance. Man, she must really hate Ronda Rousey.
You're telling me!
By slapping Doudrop in the face, Becky Lynch is a complete fucking idiot. That's not really a smart move here.
If you would shut up for a second and let me finish.
How about you both get a room already and let Jimmy Smith finish the commentary here, seeing as he's the only one paying attention to the match taking place.
This is something you can't just power your way out of.
Even though quite a number of wrestlers have previously powered out of Becky Lynch's disarmer, and conveniently, Doudrop nearly does the same thing the moment Jimmy says that.
Nice move.
Great ring awareness by Becky Lynch upon realizing that Doudrop was about to power out of the disarmer, so she quickly transitions it into a cross arm breaker. This match doesn't get enough credit, to be honest.
It's just crumbled in the corner.
Holy crap, Doudrop had almost no room to connect that cannonball maneuver without screwing up the flip, yet still managed to time it right. Holy shit, maybe this is who Nia Jax should have been trained by. Whoops, too soon.
Laid up over the top rope. Leg drop.
Well-timed leg drop from Becky Lynch. Unfortunately, Doudrop slowly tipped over when she could have easily flipped herself forward after getting hit. Guaranteed the number would have been at 64,000 if the other half of the stadium was actually open. Does anyone know why half the stadium wasn't used for this event? I'm actually curious. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley is a long-awaited dream match, and the WWE made sure to do a damn good job on setting up the promo package heading into it, showing off how the two wrestlers were forged into combat and gained success everywhere. It was amazing to see.
For 20 years, you have been running from me.
Kinda hard for Brock Lesnar to have been ducking Bobby Lashley for 20 years since Bobby didn't show up in WWE until 2005, which by that point, Brock Lesnar had been gone for almost 2 years. It's not like Bobby went into MMA just so he could find Brock.
Bobby Lashley.
Since when did Bobby Lashley become the good guy here? Last I checked, Brock Lesnar was the good guy in this feud.
Brock has no soul.
Perhaps the Brock Lesnar who was silently dancing around while Paul Heyman hyped him up had no soul. But this new Brock Lesnar has more soul and presence than a majority of the roster, and that's a big ouch moment. I can't believe I'd ever say this, but the pairing of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman at this point in time has never been more awkward, given Brock has his own character and can cut better promos. He honestly doesn't need Paul Heyman anymore, who keeps shifting back and forth between Brock and Roman Reigns. Also, with how many times Paul shifted from Roman to Brock in the last 30 days, how does either wrestler trust him anymore with anything? I don't get it. Considering every bit of pyro is exploding from either the WrestleMania sign or the setup above the ring, it really makes Brock Lesnar's pyro weird since it explodes in front of him, not behind him.
There has never been a superstar stupid enough to want to fight Brock Lesnar.
Corey Graves has somehow forgotten about Riddle and his hopes of retiring Brock Lesnar, which would obviously never happen given Riddle's just not as good as Brock. And you can't use, he'd win in a real fight, because you're a dumbass if that's your excuse. This is the WWE.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, after hearing Brock Lesnar introduce himself like that, I think it'd be a lot cooler if Brock introduced himself instead of Paul Heyman doing it. But one thing I was glad for in this match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley was it didn't start off with immediate suplexes or attempts at finishing moves, but rather the two big men grappling with their strength like it should be. Great start.
And confidence.
Damn, you gotta love the way Bobby Lashley gets right back up with that expression after taking the first German suplex. That's the moment we realize that it'll take more than some suplexes to put down the Almighty.
Back to his feet.
Paul Heyman should be thankful that Brock Lesnar did not see him clapping for Bobby Lashley, otherwise now there's possibly a third person Paul is managing during this period.
Suplexing Bobby Lashley.
Wrong, Jimmy. That was Brock Lesnar who got suplexed in that moment. Come on, I'm pretty sure you could tell the difference between them.
Lashley's gonna be lucky if he didn't dislocate a shoulder.
Well, unfortunately, Bobby actually did. More on that in the next WWE scenes for Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley definitely looked back at Brock Lesnar's clashes with Goldberg and realized several spears are his weakness.
More like this.
What kind of landing was that supposed to be? Either Bobby was too far to the side when he hit the second spear, or Brock wanted to do a little dance upon getting speared. Regardless, it's a sin, so the only winner here is me. Ow, my hands! But also, that hilarious bonk noise when Brock Lesnar hit his hands on the LED post.
The WWE Champion.
The one thing I don't understand about this match at all is this. Why is Bobby Lashley constantly shifting himself to the side so that he can dangerously land on his shoulder with every German suplex? Like, is he trying to injure himself on purpose here? It happens for literally every single German suplex. The end result is a shoulder injury.
Brock might be out. He is fading fast.
Brock is clearly doing his best to fight his way out of the hurt lock and is showing no signs of going down, but sure, let's say that he is fading fast. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche. Saw that coming the moment the referee conveniently put himself into the corner and waited there. I guess Bobby Lashley isn't the only one trying to hurt himself on purpose in this match. Wow, talk about not being able to catch yourself a break, am I right? After Charles Robinson got whacked by the F5 twice, one would think all referees would stay away from the wrestlers when the move is about to be performed. Roman Reigns be like, must prevent title versus title match, even though the possibility of holding two world titles at the same time would make me the most dominant champion ever. So, yeah, do you, want to join me again even after I fired your ass, publicly humiliated you, and Superman punched you into oblivion less than a month ago? Excellent. Victory due to outside interference is always a sin. Also, a further 15 sins because this whole charade of Bobby Lashley defeating Brock Lesnar was only done to showcase the never-ending feud between Brock and Roman Reigns, and we never got to see who was the most dominant performer here. Honestly, this is a shame. Any match involving Edge should feel special, especially when he's teaming with his wife Beth Phoenix for the first time. And yet, this is the one match that nobody truly cares about. We just want to get to the main event now. Also, The Miz teaming with Maurice for defeat is becoming a weirder tradition than Brock Lesnar facing Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. Whoops, looks like The Miz and Maurice are trapped in the CGI dome and have no way of escaping to the ring. Edge and Beth win by forfeit. And scene. Let's move on. The Miz and Maurice took inspiration from Eva Marie in 2016 and decided to become all red everything. At least they're good at wrestling, so there's one plus. But now I'm back to remembering Eva's embarrassing 2 runs in WWE, so sin.
His Hall of Fame wife.
Oh, now there's pyrotechnics on the stage, but Brock Lesnar had to resort to pyro exploding in front of him?
Maurice is married to the Edge.
Even if that was a botch on Corey Graves' part, Maurice being secretly married to Edge, or The Edge as Corey called him, sounds far more entertaining than what we are watching right now. Beth Phoenix's hairstyle seems to get bigger and weirder with every passing week. I wonder if she took inspiration from Becky Lynch, whose hair has grown to the size of the WrestleMania sign by now.
Hey, come on, Mike, get up there!
Did the referee just call The Miz Mike? I know that's his real first name, but he's The Miz tonight. Only Maurice can call him Mike when the cameras are rolling. Some would say The Miz is the luckiest guy in the world by having Maurice on top of him. To Miz, it's just his average day. Miz somehow didn't see Edge running toward him from the moment he moved down the apron. Peripheral vision in wrestling must be a myth or something.
Fantastic cheater alongside the Miz.
Go fuck yourself, Byron. This dude complains about The Miz more than he calls the action of the match. This dude absolutely sucks on commentary.
World famous It Kick.
Only this time, nobody else can say anything about Daniel Bryan and his yes kicks. I bet Corey Graves feels victorious. Run for your lives, folks.
Maurice on.
Wow, that was the softest slap to Edge's face I've ever seen. It's like Maurice didn't even want to hurt him in the first place. Beth Phoenix wasted valuable time taunting Maurice and asking the crowd if she should continue the onslaught instead of continuing the onslaught. Jesus, this match sucks. Here are 5 more sins. What doesn't make any sense about this moment is Beth Phoenix and The Miz stare each other down, then both of them turn their heads away from each other. What's the point of doing that, honestly? I don't get it. First off, Maurice never connected her foot on Beth's knee, and because of that, Beth reacted way too late. This started to look like that one time Goldberg reacted too late from MVP, not hitting him in the leg at SummerSlam.
Oh, no.
Oh, double clothesline.
Double clothesline my ass. Both Maryse and Beth merely fell back like they were playing Ring Around the Rosie. Holy shit, can we get to the main event that's bound to be way better than the rest of this weird night?
It's legal. Oh.
The Miz was already starting to fall, and I don't even care enough to finish the rest of the sentence because I'm all out of fucks to give about this match.
He's on the top rope. Whoa.
Well, at least one impressive thing happened about this mixed tag team match. Maryse nearly botched, but Edge did a good job catching her and flipping forward in that Hurricane Rana.
Oh, no.
Absolutely terrible spear. At least Maryse put effort into the Hurricane Rana earlier to Edge. What a shame.
Amazon slam coming.
No fair, Edge had a head start in the double glam slam. About 3 minutes of a Sasha Banks commercial, which does nothing for her since she already competed tonight and doesn't show up for the next month, which means this was a waste of time.
2 superstars will start.
It's kind of redundant to explain the rules of the Royal Rumble match after we saw one literally an hour ago. After the cameraman saw all the pyro explode from the structure above the ring, he decided to face the pyro behind the wrestler. In doing so, all we see is the back of AJ Styles, who was blocking the view of the pyrotechnics. Boy, that was a fail and a half. Either AJ Styles is referencing Shawn Michaels starting and winning the Royal Rumble at number 1, or he just wanted to mess with the fans who so desperately wanted to see him and Shawn face off in the ring.
3 superstars have won from the number 1 position.
Well, I suppose because Edge won the Royal Rumble last year at number 1, things get more awkward for the commentators trying to avoid the conversation of 2004's winner by mentioning one example then moving on. There are 2 things that suck about Shinsuke Nakamura's appearance as number 2 in the Royal Rumble match. The first one is how his rivalry with AJ failed in 2018. The other is I just remembered he was the Intercontinental Champion. I feel bad for this guy. It is always hilarious when Pat McAfee dances along to Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance theme, but it feels weird to see him do that without Rick Boogs playing his guitar. Also, this was a missed opportunity. Since WWE was scrambling to find entrants for the Royal Rumble match, why not place Pat McAfee in the Rumble from the commentary desk? Hell, we're on the 10-year anniversary of the time Michael Cole competed in the match, so why not make a hilarious callback to that? Your opportunity was right there, guys.
Many have called him Mr. McMahon's pet.
I wouldn't really say Austin Theory is Vince McMahon's pet. A better term would be ass kisser. He's basically going down the 2009 Drew McIntyre route. Here's to see if that works out well for him down the line.
Now AJ Styles.
Pat McAfee is funny with his physical reactions to moments that take place in the Rumble match. I've said this before, but I would love to see a split-screen special of just Pat reacting to things.
The current Intercontinental Champion.
He is? Oh, right, we already referenced that. I guess that just shows that Intercontinental title reigns don't seem to work out for Shinsuke on 2 occasions.
Mr. McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy?
And because Pat said Vince's full name, get ready for Vince to lose his temper and challenge him to a match at the most stupendous WrestleMania event. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too far ahead. Right?
The glorious one.
That had to have been a 50-50 guess on Michael Cole's part because the graphics are showcasing both Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler's initials. Not to mention, Robert wasn't in view of anyone before Michael mentioned his name. Imagine if he was like, the glorious one, Robert. Oh shit, it's Dolph Ziggler. My bad.
Hey, Bob Roode!
Shh! Quiet! They already changed Bobby Roode's name to Robert Roode. Do you want to influence them to change it to Bob Roode next, huh?
Look at Bob Roode.
Pat McAfee is entertaining, but he said Bob Roode like 3 times in the last 20 seconds. Is he trying to make that his official name or something?
However, but now eliminated.
Damn, just when he was revisiting his TNA rivalry with AJ Styles, sadly Bob Roode got... God damn it, Pat, now you got me saying that name. Screw you.
Throwing Austin Theory around it.
Man, what happened to Shinsuke Nakamura? This is the guy who won his very first Royal Rumble and was in a major WWE title match at WrestleMania. Now he's the most forgettable guy in this year's Rumble.
As he does in himself.
AJ Styles must have been inspired by Tamina's performance in the Women's Rumble match earlier and started to break up eliminations.
Quickly, look at him.
No offense to Kofi Kingston, but Montez Ford should honestly be the new Royal Rumble highlight reel guy with insane athleticism like that. Sucks that he didn't get a near elimination survival moment in tonight's match. What a devastating kick to the air. Whoever that dude is with a Marry Me Damian Priest sign, I hate your guts for stealing it from me. Now give it back. Considering Sami Zayn believes there's a conspiracy against him in WWE, I'm surprised he didn't get number 8, then try and turn it over only to see that he couldn't find a way out of that. Should have listened to Dean Ambrose 5 years ago. Holy shit, 5 years ago? The entire existence of Johnny Knoxville performing in the Royal Rumble match just to promote the next Jackass movie. Matter of fact, let's put in 15 sins because of that. Also, once again, don't reveal these sort of things many weeks prior to the event. Like, imagine if nobody knew that Johnny Knoxville of Jackass was going to be here. Fuck! Also, the convenient timing of Johnny Knoxville appearing literally after Sami Zayn, the guy he's coincidentally feuding with at the moment.
Look at Knoxville go! Throwing right
Actually, Johnny is throwing right hands only. Very slow ones too, might I add. Don't be afraid to let loose, dude. You've done far worse than this.
Apron and Sami Zayn!
Not much of a jackass show in here. If WWE was going to have Johnny Knoxville perform in the Royal Rumble, at least set some sort of crazy stunt up. Like bring out Omos and have him toss Johnny right through the announce table. That would have made this appearance awesome.
How bad, there'll be some sort of conspiracy.
Even after Sami Zayn has been eliminated, Michael and Pat are still talking about him while bored out of their minds. You know, it's okay to actually talk about what's going on in the ring.
Who's eliminated?
Missed opportunity for Montez Ford to get rescued by the eliminated Angelo Dawkins. I'm only suggesting things because so far this hasn't exactly been an energizing, exciting Royal Rumble match. Something's off about this one.
In the middle of the ring post!
Intense awe.
Oh my goodness!
Well, he's dead. Reap. Omos just stands around and lets Chad Gable form a plan with the remaining wrestlers in the ring instead of, I don't know, preventing that from happening immediately?
Shut up! You first!
Chad Gable looked to gather everyone together to attack Omos at the same time, but chooses instead to let each wrestler attack him one at a time. Not exactly a well-calculated plan. Also, despite yelling at Chad Gable to shut up about 5 seconds ago, Damian Priest chooses to take orders from him. Shut your mouth! But also, yes, I will do whatever you say. I'll also shine your Raw Tag Team titles while I'm at it. Sound good? You see, Omos, we wouldn't be having this issue if you just continued assaulting everyone, then eliminating them one after the other, instead of letting everyone team up on you. Also, biggest wrestler is eliminated by the entire fray in the Royal Rumble match cliche. Seriously, next time you ask the question about how anyone can eliminate the bigger competitors, just don't ask that at all because you look stupid.
Can you imagine how obnoxious and happy Corbin would be?
Was that supposed to be a pun or something because his name is Happy Corbin now, Michael Cole? As much as Happy Corbin always pisses off a lot of fans by eliminating their favorites, including Ricochet, you gotta admit he's very smart and doesn't let the wrestlers hit their moves on him. Knowing how athletic Ricochet is, Happy took advantage of that one flaw. Gotta give him props for that.
WrestleMania and win the world title. And now
Sheamus is a veteran of the Royal Rumble, right? He even won this match 10 years ago. The moment he sees Ridge Holland about to be eliminated, he just stands there and shouts no instead of pushing him back onto the apron. Something tells me he isn't as loyal to Ridge as some would think.
and perhaps the most powerful dude.
Rick Boogs is actually hilarious and impressive in the ring. That's what I like about him. He ain't just a guitarist to Shinsuke Nakamura. This is entertainment done right.
That one-handed Gable.
Chad Gable is about to be eliminated by Rick Boogs, but nope. Instead, let's focus on Happy Corbin clearly hanging on during Sheamus' attempt to eliminate him. That's much more important than an actual Royal Rumble elimination.
And now Ziggler hanging up.
Damn, all that military pressing just to place Dolph Ziggler against the ropes instead of throwing him out like you did to Chad Gable earlier? Did Rick Boogs suddenly forget how to eliminate people from the Royal Rumble match or something?
Cat Moss eliminates.
No joke, you know how insanely stupid the IWC has become? A lot of them considered AJ freaking Styles, of all people, buried just because he got eliminated by Madcap Moss one time from the Royal Rumble match. Yet they're the ones wanting new talent to take over. You know what would be absolutely hilarious? What if I did this just to piss off the community? What more could they do to me by now? Now that I'm done joking around, I must say I'm impressed with Madcap Moss. Eliminated several participants at Survivor Series, put on a good match of Drew McIntyre at Day 1, and had an impressive performance in the Royal Rumble. I like the pattern. Won't lie, this moment shocked me. I'm amazed that Drew McIntyre managed to recover from his neck injury within 4 weeks and just in time to compete in the Rumble match, right after we thought it was too severe for him to compete at WrestleMania.
And a step.
Post-elimination assault.
United States Championship.
That awkward pause when Michael Cole said United States Championship. That was weird.
My show, Kevin Owens.
One of the first things Kevin Owens does upon his entrance into the Royal Rumble is prevent Sheamus from eliminating Riddle. Why does everyone keep doing that? Like, seriously, why?
Since 6 and will become a world champion at WrestleMania.
Damn, missed opportunity to have Rey Mysterio hit a Hurricane Rana on Kevin Owens, which caused Kevin to hit a cannonball on Riddle in the corner. Be honest, how freaking awesome do you think that could have been?
In my humble opinion.
Is Michael Cole okay? He's really starting to pause in between sentences. First it was the United States Championship, and now a long pause for the phrase in my humble opinion. I really hope that he is okay.
Oh no!
10 years ago, Kofi Kingston became the Royal Rumble highlight reel when he did a handstand to prevent his feet from touching the floor, and after a decade of amazing saves, it finally backfired on him, effing the chaff for the demise of Kofi Kingston's highlight reel days. Also, to be honest, with the way he landed on the barricade, I'd say his feet touching the floor would be the least of his concerns. He could have fucking shattered his ribcage with a dangerous fall like that.
Over top of Rey Mysterio, Drew.
Another reason why this Royal Rumble match is honestly not that good is because everyone is moving so slowly just to hit some punches. There's no desperate attempts at eliminations for a long while outside of the lack of surprises. This should be the moment where everyone backstage looks at Brock Lesnar and thinks, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
WWE Champion, Big E.
There goes Michael Cole again with the pauses in between words. It's not like Xavier Woods was going to enter with Big E's graphics or anything. It's hilarious how last year I was dissing Bad Bunny for that horrendous performance at the Royal Rumble where Booker T was doing the long dead mannequin challenge. Little did I know that a year later I'd be removing 3 sins because it was awesome to see him back after that fantastic performance at WrestleMania 37. My, how times change.
Bad Bunny runs into Kevin Owens and
Seeing Bad Bunny performing these high-flying maneuvers and showing that he respects the industry is always admirable. Without a doubt, one of the best celebrity performers who actually trained to take part in these matches. You know, I'm usually fine with Shane McMahon making an appearance in the Royal Rumble match, but the way he was placed in the match to dominate others just to make himself look good literally cost him his career, and a further 10 sins will be placed because of how terrible this was.
the Scottish or SmackDown Warrior.
Michael Cole corrected himself when he wasn't even wrong the first time. Yes, Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown, but his name is the Scottish Warrior. No ifs, ands, or happy Corbin's sexy butt. I mean, what?
Randy Orton. Cass is going back there.
Even with Riddle taking part, there's nothing like a good old-fashioned RKO Rampage in the Royal Rumble match when Randy Orton performs, or in this case, it's an RK Bro Rampage.
Incredible wrestler. Final spot, Pat.
I'm sorry, but in no universe, even the WWE universe, does Shane McMahon win a striking contest with Riddle, the former UFC fighter. Absolutely pathetic. Right now, Riddle is thinking to himself about how he wanted to retire Brock Lesnar and finally has his chance to do it. But when Brock Lesnar is literally here, he's clearly regretting everything he's ever said.
Bunnies can fly!
Major props to Bad Bunny unwillingly taking an F5 from Brock Lesnar. Infuriating as the remaining minute of this match was, that was still cool to see. Just as crazy as the time Nia Jax took an RKO from Randy Orton in 2019.
To start the Royal Rumble match!
You know it's terrible when Shane McMahon is trying to make himself look unbeatable over frickin' Brock Lesnar by not flipping over the top rope from Brock's clotheslines. Last thing you want to do is piss off Brock. You already pissed us off and everyone backstage as well. Before I take care of the negatives, I'll remove 2 sins because Brock Lesnar made history by being the longest tenured wrestler to win the Royal Rumble in between the 2 victories. 19 years ago was when he won it the first time, and at 2.5 minutes, breaking the record for the shortest amount of time before winning the Rumble. But also,